This picture of a rock just sold for $1.3 million. And this Fidenza art block sold for $3.3 million. Earlier in March, this picture, every days, the first 5,000 days, sold for $69 million. So what's happening in this NFT market, and why are people paying millions of dollars for these NFTs? In this video, I'm going to be breaking down exactly what NFTs are all about and how you can get started buying your first NFT and some different strategies in how to actually make a profit off of it. Before we get started, a little bit about myself. My name is Kenny and I'm an investment analyst working in the tech industry. I've been really interested in Web 3.0, NFTs, DAOs, and social tokens, and I really wanted to start talking about this space as the NFT market is starting to explode. If you guys are interested in learning how to make money by investing in tech stocks, cryptocurrencies, or NFTs, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Without further ado, let's dive right into it. So the first question is, what are NFTs? Well, NFTs stands for non-fungible token. Now, non-fungible means it's unique and it can't be replaced by something else. For example, a Bitcoin is fungible. It trades one for another Bitcoin and you'll have exactly the same thing. A one-of-one trading card, however, is non-fungible. If you trade it for a different card, you'll have something completely different. So how do NFTs work? Now, at a very high level, most NFTs are part of the Ethereum blockchain. Ethereum is a cryptocurrency like Bitcoin, but its blockchain also supports these NFTs, which store extra information that make them work differently from, let's say, an ETH coin. It's worth noting that other blockchains can implement their own versions of NFTs. So you're probably thinking, okay, Kenny, why can't I just right-click Save As and have that own copy myself? Well, that's true, you can do that, but you won't actually have the ownership of that said image. Now, let's take, for example, the Mona Lisa. You can go to the Mona Lisa and take a picture of it, but you won't actually be the owner of it. You'll have a copy of it, but only one person can own the original. So now let's dive into why NFTs are starting to take off in 2021. Now, one of the main reasons NFTs are getting a lot more popularity is because it's giving a lot more power to the creator economy. Now, traditionally, artists would sell a one-time print and they would get paid off of that one-time sale. However, with NFTs, creators are actually getting a royalty off of secondary sales. Creators get around maybe, let's say, 3 to 10% of the secondary sale, meaning that they are able to focus a lot more time on their art and be able to make a living off of it. Now, although some might believe that NFTs are a Ponzi scheme or it's a big scam, I believe NFTs are here to stay. Why is that? Well, it's because I believe the future will be tokenized. Almost anything can and will be turned into a fungible or non-fungible token, meaning that everything can be turned into a tradable asset on the blockchain. Now let's take, for example, gaming. Now let's say you're playing Fortnite and you buy a skin. Right when you buy that skin, that value goes to zero. The company makes money and you don't get anything out of it. Now, what NFTs are starting to revolutionize is that if you buy a skin, you'll be able to sell that skin on the secondary market, meaning that you have an asset that still retains its value or could even increase in value over time. Now, that dives into play to earn and this whole world of actually playing games and actually making money off of it, but that's something that we'll save for a later video. For the simplicity of this episode, I'm going to leave it at that and dive into how you can get started buying your first NFT. Now, the first step you have to take in buying an NFT is to set up a digital wallet. Now, there's several different options, but one that I would recommend is either MetaMask or Trust Wallet. Since I use MetaMask, I'm going to stick with that, so let's dive right into it. So right here, we're on MetaMask's homepage. You can see that it's a crypto wallet and a gateway to blockchain apps. So we're going to download now. And then you can install MetaMask for Chrome. Since I already have MetaMask downloaded to my device, I won't download it here, but it's fairly simple. Just follow the steps and you'll have it uploaded. When the extension is installed, click on the icon in the top right corner to open MetaMask, read and accept the terms. From there, you can create a strong password and hit create. From this point on, you'll see a 12-word seed phrase. Save your seed words as a file or copy them to a safe place and click I copied it somewhere safe. Now, as a quick PSA, one of the best ways to keep your account safe is to physically write it down with a pen and paper so you don't have it locked into the cloud or on your device. This is just a secondary precaution as there have been a lot of hacks within this space over the past year. From this point on, you've set up your account. All you need to do is fund it with cryptocurrencies. One of the main cryptocurrencies to use is Ethereum. So I would recommend funding your account with Ethereum. Now I'm going to assume you already know how to buy cryptocurrencies and to send it over to this wallet. From this point on, we need to go to digital art marketplace. One of the first ones being OpenSea.io, which is one of the most popular digital marketplaces right now. And boom, just like that, you're signed in. From this point on, you can explore the marketplace. You can see currently what's trending in all different categories. You can see their stats, what some of the top rankings are based off of the past 7 days, past 1 day. And there's many different options for you to currently explore. Now let's take a look at an NFT that's for purchase. We're going to take a look at Bored Ape Yacht Club, one NFT profile picture collection that you're probably pretty aware of if you've dug into NFTs a little bit. Currently, all the different NFTs that are on sale right now. Now, if you click right here on the left-hand side, you can see Buy Now button. Now, if you click on that, you can see all the different NFTs that are currently available for purchase. Now, it starts with the floor price, and the floor price for a Bored Ape is around 38 ETH. Now, this page currently shows you all the different details about this said NFT. It shows you the current price, its price history, some of the different offers that it's received. On the left-hand side, you can see all the different properties. You can see that the background is army green, which 12% of this trait has, its eyes, fur, and so on and so forth. Now, once you're ready to actually buy this NFT, click on Buy Now. It'll bring you to this checkout screen, and then you can hit checkout once you're ready to purchase it. So now that you have your wallet set up and you know the process of buying an NFT, let's talk about some different strategies on how you can make a profit in this space. Now, there's several different strategies, but the first one I want to talk about is short term. Now, there's several different short term strategies, whether it's actually minting a project or buying the floor and trying to sell it for a quick flip. But let me first talk about minting. Now, minting a project is buying the project right when they release for the first time. This is a great way because usually artists sell at a pretty cheap price. And if you get into a good project at a very low cost, it essentially mitigates your downside risk. It could be a great opportunity if you get into a great project since you're getting at a very early stage of it. Now, the second strategy in the short term is essentially buying the floor and flipping as the price slowly goes up. Now, the floor price is essentially the lowest price an owner of the NFT is willing to sell it for. In the case with the Bored Apes, the floor price was 38 ETH, which is the lowest price that someone is willing to sell it for right now. Now, if we look at this NFT creature world, we can see that the floor price is at 2.51 ETH. Now, there's one selling at 2.52, 2.53, 2.55. So you can see in the top row, there's currently 8 creature worlds selling. And the far right one is selling for 2.7 ETH. If you bought one at 2.5, and if these 7 others sell, you can essentially list your NFT for 2.7 and make a 0.2 ETH profit. Now, of course, there are some taxes and fees that are associated with the purchase and selling. However, that's essentially what you're trying to do. You're trying to buy at the lowest price possible, and as the floor price rises, you sell for a quick flip. This is typically done for these short-term strategies, as people are just looking to buy the cheapest price option to get into the project and then to sell it at a slightly higher price. Now I want to talk about longer-term strategies with NFTs. Now, the way I think about investing in longer term is to buy into blue chip projects, blue chip meaning already established projects, that will definitely hold its value in bear markets. Now, some blue chip projects that come to mind is, of course, CryptoPunks, Bored Ape Yacht Club, Coolcats, Cyberkongs, and really projects that already have an established community, a big following, and have already established themselves as leaders within this space. If you have the funds to be able to get into some of these projects, I do think the risk to reward makes a lot of sense, as you're really just taking a bet on NFTs in the future. However, you're really minimizing your risk, as you're not trying to scour for these really small projects that aren't known and aren't established. Now, lastly, I want to talk about my criteria and framework for investing in NFTs. Now, NFTs are inherently risky, as I'm sure you're aware, as it's an illiquid asset. An illiquid asset is an asset that can't be easily sold, like a stock or cryptocurrency, which you can easily trade on the market. With NFTs, if you list it on the market, it's going to take some time for someone to buy it. And if there's no buyers, then essentially you're stuck left holding it. So it's really important before you invest in an NFT to have some sort of criteria or framework for investing, so you're okay with holding it in case times get tough and there is a bear market. Now, the first criteria is essentially the eye test. Does it look good to me personally? Does it have any sort of personal appeal to it? And is it something that I actually like looking at? If that checks the box, then I move on to the second point, which is a strong community. Now, a strong community can be judged off of many different factors, but some of the things that I look at is, for one, their Twitter following, and two, their Discord. If they have a fair amount of people in their Discord, and it's also a very active community, there's people talking and really trying to have great conversations about the project, that's always a great sign. From that point on, I move on to the operating team. I want to understand who exactly is driving this project. Are the founders doxxed, meaning that they are revealing their true identity, or are they holding a internet name and internet figure? Founders who are willing to put their name and reputation online is a great sign, as it shows a lot of confidence in the project, and there isn't so much worry about them scamming or rug pulling you because they actually have their name and reputation on the line. Now, those are the three main criteria that I like to look at, but I also like to look at utility, and I believe there's no better example than looking at cyberkongs. Now, here we are looking at the cyberkongs on OpenSea. We can see that the floor price is around 9 ETH, and this is currently the floor price for these baby kongs. Now, if we go to the type and go to Genesis, we can see that there's only 1,000 of them. We can see that the floor price for these Genesis kongs are 145 ETH. Now, that converted to USD is over $500,000. You're probably thinking, why would anyone pay $500,000 for a picture of a JPEG? Well, to understand that, we need to first go to the cyberkong's website to understand what utility these cyberkong Genesis have. Now, we can see there's different types of cyberkongs, but for the Genesis kongs, each Genesis Kong produces 10 banana tokens every day for the next 10 years. And if we go on CoinGecko.com, we can see the value of one banana token at $67. Now, it hit an all-time high of over $120 at one point earlier in the month. It now has consolidated all the way back to around $70. Now, if we calculate that, 10 banana tokens times $67 per token times 365 for the year, we get around $250,000 a year just for holding this JPEG. Now, that's the power of the cyberkong, and why there's so much value by just holding this Genesis Kong, as it's able to generate passive income for you by just holding on to it. Now, that's the power of utility. So guys, that was my criteria and framework for what to look at when actually buying your first NFT. I believe digital art is in its renaissance period, and when we look back 10 to 20 years from now, we'll really understand the power of this technology, of utilizing the blockchain, and how NFTs have really changed the creator economy as we know it. Now, if you guys like this content, don't forget to hit subscribe wherever you're watching this or listening to this. With that, guys, thanks as always for sticking around. I'll see you in the next one, and let's go get that bag.